Yeah, but we'll just talk about it and then we'll go back to the question. Remember, interest rate future is a standardized contract, Abby. This is a standardized exchange what? Traded contract, Abby. Used to hedge against movement in what? In interest rate. Interest rate. NB. Interest rate futures. Interest rate futures are quoted in basis of 100 or index. This should be converted to interest rates by deducting the future quote from 100. E.g., I have my future quote. Future quote, I have 94.5, 96.8, 99.5, 90 points, or let me put this one is 98.5, and then 99.5. Okay, so now there are different ways you can solve, but the easiest is simply to combine whatever future quote. I told us now that futures are quoted in what? In index point 100 basis, right? So what it means that if they give me a future, look at this, 94. Can you remember when you do bond, you did bond valuation, I mean, they are quoted in 100, and they say a bond is trading at 94, it's like per 100. Is that not? That's how futures are also quoted. So the easiest approach actually is to combine these futures into what? Into interest rate. And now you do that. Simply deduct this guy from 100. You get the respective interest rate. Now, from this illustration, I would have interest rate. Interest rate here, this one will be 100 minus 94.5. How much is this? 5.5%. This is relevant interest rate. This one will be 100 minus what? 0.8 equals to 3.2. This one is what? 100 minus what? 98.5. 1.5%. And this is what? 100 minus 0.5%. Now, can you see the inverse relationship between them? As the future quotes is increasing, right? Like this. Is increasing. What is happening to this guy? Reducing. Now, if you carry some textbooks, you'll be seeing something like teeth. You'll be seeing them work using this future code, but that's actually a very complex way. If you can just convert it to interest, which I'm going to show you now, no thinking, you are good. Apply it to any question, you fly. Can we proceed? Any issue here yet? Okay. So that's the first thing. Your first task in the exam, you see your future quote like this. My first thing to do is what? Convert it to interest rate to make my work easy. Eh? They're all in indices, right? Basis of 100. Which one now? No, they are just like this now. 94.5. But it's for every 100. That's what I'm saying. For every 100. So if you take it out of 100, it gives you the relevant percentage in interest. That's the first characteristics, right? Number two thing I need to do, number two, is type of what? Of future. Of future. There are two types. Of course, you have either to buy futures, or to do what? Sell futures, right? So this is in case of what? Borrowing. And this is in case of what? Investment. No thinking. If you are investing, what do you do? Buy futures. If you are borrowing, what do you do? Sell futures. Number next, 3 is number, yes. Yes. Eh? Okay, so this sell future, right, is you're selling future because you're paying interest. Pay puts, pay interest. Right? Here, you're doing what? You're receiving what? Receiving interest. Buy long, yes, same thing. Sometimes, but those things are just complicated words. In fact, some of them you'll be seeing 6,200,000 ticks. I don't know if you definitely come across as you're reading. You see, when you see that ticks with this method, just don't even look at it. You don't need it. So it's all this olden days accountant I used to use. You don't need it. This method, copy and paste, move. Yes, full mark, no thinking. All right, so number of contracts. Number of contracts. Of course, similar, right? You have what? Exposure. Exposure amount divided by what? Contract size. Contract size multiplied by tenor all over 3. Yes, this 3 is here because your futures are quoted in 3 months. And because you are dealing with interest, you are trying to convert it to month. But in currency, you don't have this issue because currency does not look at time. It only looks at what? Your when and all of that. Yes. It doesn't use interest rate, rather. All right. All right. So the last thing we're looking at is our locking rates. And our locking rate equals to opening future price. Can we remember? Opening future price. Yes, the only addition to this now is the company's capacity. Remember, this is interest now, right? So plus company's capacity, then plus what? Unexpired basis, no thinking, and then you are done. Future period, we still need to talk about it. Future period is period that expires immediately after what? After the transaction date. Is that not? So let me change this one to 5 and then make this one 4. Future period. Select future that what? Expires immediately after what? After the transaction date. Same way that we have. All right, so can we go back to our question now? Back to Mr. Bigat's. Mr. Big Art question. So this time we are looking at what? Interest rate futures. Abi? Interest rate futures. Yes, same thing. All right, so please go to the question. Let's quickly deal with this. Derivative contract may be assumed to mature at what? At the end of the month. 3 months telling future. Can we see? That's the contract size of how much? 500,000 contract size. Can you see that 12.56 size? What did I say you should do to that thing? Just cross it. Yes, you don't need it. Now, can you see September? How much? Can you see the way they are quoted? 93.870, December 93. Whatever, and then March, right? So now let's start. First thing first, we have our futures, Abby. Future quotes. What was the first one? September, December, and what? And March. How much is this? This one is 93 point what? 870. Next, 790, and next 93.680. So what will be our relevant interest rate? Interest rate, no thinking. Help me. This guy will be 100 minus 93.870. Help me. 6.13, right? Next one, 100 minus 0.790. Help me. Ego. Eh? 6.21. Don't forget they're in percentage already. And then the last 100 minus 93.680, 6.32%. All right. So which one would be our relevant quote? Now don't forget today. Let's not forget our today is what? Today is 16th September. When? 2020. Abi, our transaction date is what? 16 December 2020. Abi. So which future are we going to select, guys?
December future, sir. 6.21. December 6.21.
March. It's March. That's not it. It's September. December. 16. Immediately after December.
It's December.
December.
It's December, sir.
December.
6.21.
Which month?
December.
Yes, sir. Which one are we picking? Relevant future period.
December, sir.
6.21.
December,
Yes.
6.21.
You go for March. Why? Voila. Adia, yes, tell us. You never fail us. Tell us. December, why? Why now? Why? Which month are you picking? March. Yes. What then is the transaction date?
Except we're considering the 2 months, then I'll say March.
Sir, it's
Guys,
December because we are told that
transaction date is 16 December. Even transaction date, if you were to be December 31st, which one are you picking? It's still December now. Abi?
Exactly.
Eh? When is the transaction date? 16 December. The future you must select must cover that transaction date. So even if you have 31st December, you still select December futures. Why? Because that means your transaction date exactly coincides with what? With the future period. In that case, your basis, your unexpired basis will be what? 0. We talked about this in currency.
Yes.
All right. So now our relevant is what? This is what we are selecting, which is this guy. So our relevant future period is what? So we are sell December futures. All right. At what's the interest rate? 6.21%. So next is my number of contracts. Number of contracts. And of course, this is exposure divided by what? Contract size multiplied by the tenor of the loan or investment divided by what? Future period. Our future period is 3, Abi. Future period, always 3. So this 3 is constant. So our exposure, 150 million divided by contract size. Size, how much? 500,000, Abi. 500,000 multiplied by tenor of this loan.
Two months.
Divided by what? 3.
3.
How many contracts do we have?
200 contracts.
How many contracts?
200.
200 contracts. They won't even know. This doesn't have all those. It's constant. Because, yes, in future, because they are in 3 months. It's there. This 3 is constant. Always constant. Don't forget, it's only for interest that you have this 3. Abi, can we remember? Is it in currency like this? No, thank you. It's only in interest that you have this 3. It's always constant. And of course, the futures are quoted in 3 months. All right, so we are done. The last thing we are doing is just the locking rate. Locking rate. And our locking rate is what? OFP plus what? Capacity, Abi. Capacity plus what? Unexpired basis. No thinking. Is it 0?
Yeah.
Is it 0? We'll look at it and then we'll confirm whether you're correct. So these 2 guys, we have OFP, true or false. The moment you identify your relevant future, this OFP is how much? 6.21 already, Abi. Company capacity will be given to you, 0. Same thing. The only thing I'm computing now is what? Unexpired basis. All right. Now let's see today. This is today. We have our transaction date. I like to usually draw this so that it will guide me. Transaction date. And then I have my what? Future period. Is that not? So I'll write today. They told me 16 September 2020. Transaction date, they told me is what? 16th December 2020. And future period, they told me, I know that is what? 31st December 2020. Between this guy up to this guy is what we call total basis. Yes?
How do
Yes.
you know that the future period is 31st December 2020?
Is it, how do I know that it's December futures I'm picking? Is that your question? Or why is it 31st?
Yes, why is it 31st?
All futures expired what? At the end of the month. So if you pick a March future, it means it's expiring on the last day of the month. Inugo? All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
between the transaction dates and what? And this future is what you call what? Unexpired. Is that not? Unexpired basis. Is that? What's our unexpired basis here?
One month.
0.5 months.
Eh?
0.5.
Eh? It's 0.5. You got it now. You were scared. Yes. Is it not 0.5 months?
Yes, it's 0.5, not up to 1 month.
Yes, this is 0.5 months. This is what your examiner wanted to test by putting that 16. 0.5 months.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Eh?
Okay.
Yes.
If you say 0.5, now 16th of between this 16th of December and 31st of December is not 15 days. So why are we not using 0.5?
So what are we supposed to use? Very good question. What are we supposed to use? Tell me.
I don't know. Maybe we will divide.
One divided
Maybe
by
we'll
2.
16 divided
Sir,
by
it
30,
is 15 days.
31st
dividing one
times
into 2 now.
100
It
or
is
something.
15 days. It is 15 days. Between 16th to 31st of December is
16
15
to
days.
31st is even 15 days. It's half.
It's
It's half
15
month.
days. Yes,
It's
it's
half
15
month.
days. So that's half. Yes. It's not 30th, it's 31st. So less 31st from 16, you have 15.
And that's
No, they won't give you
divided by
that.
30 to give you 0.5.
Okay, so if you are in doubt, right? If you are in doubt, if you do your computation, you should be getting 0.5 something. Abi? 0.48 something, something like. By the time you compute, you will get the same answer. The same answer. But when you see something like this, it's just half of the month, right? Basic.
Sir,
Oh,
sir. Hello, sir.
Basis is just the movement now. Movement from your port to the end of the future. That's basis. The unexpired
Hello,
basis is the fact that your transaction date is not exactly the same thing as your future period. Right?
hello, hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I want to ask another question. Is there an okay? I just found the way that we can get it. Instead of saying 0.5, we can just divide 16 divided by 31st. In case they give us different dates, that will just
I've
divide
just told
to
you
know.
now. I've told you now. In all my how many years of lecturing, I've not seen, including ACCA, I've not seen. So you don't even have to bother yourself trying to say that your examiner will tell you today's date or transaction date is 5th of the month. They will not tell you that. They won't tell you that. If they give you 5th of month, it means the other month also, they won't even bring that complication. Trust me, they will not. But if you have found a way that works for you, perfect. All right. So our total basis, remember, today, in currency, we used to have spot, Abi. So it means this one, instead of spot, what are we going to be having? LIBOR, Abi. Is it not? LIBOR is our current spot. In currency is spot rate. In interest is what? LIBOR. This one here is what? OFP. Is that not the same thing? Are we together? If you know currency, this thing now is like more money to you. Same thing. Price. Opening future price.
Hold on, there's somewhere you put period.
Where?
No,
I want to see now.
you know, when you calculate, I was to put price. Then I had something period.
From my mouth. Okay, oh, sorry, oh, if I mentioned period, but I don't think I did, but it's fine. It's price, opening future price. And those are the prices in front of our future quote. In this case, we have converted those future quote to what? To interest rate, Abi? Right. So our LIBOR is currently what? 6%.
6%.
6%. And our OFP is what?
6.21%.
6.21%. Our total basis in months will be how much? Remember, we've gotten this one, right? So we need This one also, how many months would that be our total basis? 3.5 months, Abi?
Yes, 3.5 months.
0.5 months. So our unexpired basis from 16th of September to 31st of December. How many months? 16th of September to 16th October, 1. 16th October to 16th November, 2. 16th November to 16th December, 3. 16th December to 31st December. Me, I dey count my finger. Okay, so our unexpired basis, 0.5 divided by what?
3.5.
3.5, Nabi. Then multiply by what is our total movement in basis? We are moving from LIBOR
minus 0.21
minus OFP, Abi. Is it not? The
minus
same thing. So
0.21,
our
yes.
6% minus 6.21%. Don't forget the same thing that we have in currency. So what do we have? 0.5 divide
Minus
3.5
0.21.
multiply minus 0.21. Help me. What's my unexpired basis? 0.03 minus
Minus
0.0. Don't forget, if minus is there, please don't forget to put the minus. It's very key. So I can get my locking rate now in peace. Locking rate equals to, remember, OFP plus company capacity plus what? Where? Love care. Love care. Where's your mind going to?
1.
Hey. I'm just kidding. OFP is what? 6.21, Abi. 6.21 plus company capacity 0.9. 0.9%. Don't forget they're all in percentage plus minus 0.03. What is the issue? Tell me. Talk to me. $0.5 is the unexpired in months, Abi. What we actually need is the actual movement in the interest rate. And that is the movement from LIBOR to the future now, right? You only got that one for time. That's the time, right? You have to multiply by the difference in value. You understand? Yeah. Okay. What do we have as locking rate? Calculate on you, Jenny. Figure.
7.08. 7.08%.
7.08%. And this becomes my what?
Locking rate.
In rates. No thinking. As simple as that. The moment you get your locking rate, all you need to get now is effective interest payment. I mean, just use the locking rate. Effective interest payment. I will now have 7.08% multiply 150 million multiply 2 over what? 12. Giving me what you call. Help me. Figure.
1,770,000.
And then we are done. It's not simple. It's part of it, sir. No, it never complete. It remains small. And that's the option part now. That's where we are going to now. It's almost it. When we still have like 20 minutes, I'll be 1 hour. Safe. I've told you the easiest way to pass. Have I said that in this class? Just do balanced approach. Balanced approach. You only have problem if you don't read your theory. If you look at all the questions, the way they are designed, you see 55, 45, or you see 60, 40. Least that I've seen is 40 marks for theory. So it means if you are strong in theory, out of that 40 marks, you know, get as you go B, that you'll not be able to answer 30 out of it if you actually read through. So if you can get 30 out of your theory, anyhow way it be, the calculations, there's no way. Honestly speaking, just wait. So the problem now is that most students, one, where they are supposed to get strength in calculation, they do cherry pick. When they cherry pick the calculation, they also cherry pick theory. You now get to the exam hall, and then that question that you avoided is now what is staring at you. What do you do? Problem. At the moment you see something like that, you are demoralized. You look at question 1, it give you slap. You check question 2, slap. Question 3. The next thing is, even if you know the remaining ones, you are demoralized. The moment you don't even know number 1, and that's why I tell people, don't even start from number 1. Some persons will say, if you know number 1, you can start. But what going back first will do for you is to calm your nerve down. When you go to question 7, question 6, question 5, there's no way that you see something that is familiar. The moment you see something that is familiar to you, you are calm. And that calmness alone is part of what will give you morale, right? So some people will tell you that, oh, I went to the exam hall, I know this thing, but somehow, I came out, I still fail. Why? You see that 3.5 hours is a lot. Is it 1/4 hours? Is a lot to change anything, regardless of what you know. When you get to the exam hall, you must look for a way to actually calm your temperature down. And how do you do that? Go to the back first. Just calm down. By the time you see, they give you stats and then question 1. Then you see the lengthy question, like they did for case study. Somebody was up opening. 1 minute, 2 minutes, you see the open question. That alone, you don't even know where to start from. It's enough to just throw you off balance, even if you know what you are doing. It's enough. So you must learn that exam technique also. It's not just about reading, also learn exam technique. All right? Eh? And they tell you now. Question 6, Abi. It will calm you down. And some persons, the longer the question actually, the better. When the question is very, very long, it means that they provided a lot of information. All you just need to do, calm down and just read and be picking, understand. Don't read it like newspaper. But if you see a question, 3 lines, they now say 20 marks. And they say, oh, this is free. And then you start. It means you have to do a lot of work back. Yes. Now, there are different hedging methods now. The first one we did was FRA. The question is asking you to advise them which method to use in hedging. By the time we are done, we'll now bring all of them in the table and say, based on this computation, it's better to use FRA or use futures or use options. That's what the question is asking. There are 3. That's what they said. They said in that question. We are using the 3 and